Hi, this is Chris. I'm at Artistic Artifacts this morning. Surprise, surprise. It's where I usually am on a Saturday morning. Today I'm going to share with you shop samples that often don't get online, or maybe you saw a couple months ago. Some are samples that we've made and haven't kitted, and others are ones that we've kit, as well as we're having a flash sale today because of this. So if you use Flash 10, any or all quilt kits will be $10 off. And that means that like the Birdie quilt kit that's $19.99 right now will, $29.99 will be $19.99. I mean, you can't beat that for a lap quilt, for a charity quilt, or whatever else. So you can use it in the store or you can use it online, and it's just for kits. It's not for anything else, and it's a one day only, so this expires at midnight tonight. I'll only give a couple of announcements. One is this is Bernina Serger month, so it's a great time to come in. Look at our sergers, look at the L890. We've got the limited edition quilters edition. It's also 20% off on accessories, luggage, feet, and the serger horn cabinet. So some good deals and perfect timing because Andy's doing his virtual serger club. I know he dropped his first videos today, but you can join anytime and still see his videos. And then the only other announcement I'll make is our Creative Minds Summit is in 3 weeks. And I can't think of a better time where you want to just come and immerse yourself in a creative project for a day or 4 days with other creative people. Escape the news. Escape what's happening around the world. It's not just here, there, it's everywhere. And come in and play, have a good day. We've got 4 different teachers. A couple classes are sold out. A couple are, I think, 1 or 2 more spaces. So it's sign up and join us. It will be a perfect way to immerse yourself in creativity and escape the world for a few hours at least. So, those, I think, are my announcements. So let me get to what we're talking about today. So first, I'm going to show you some quilt samples that are in the shop that a number of us had made. Some of them are our own creative ideas, and they'll never be a kit. Others are patterns and fabrics that we've gotten, but don't lend themselves to becoming a kit. But they're in the store to inspire you, and so that's really what I'm going to try to do today. So the first one I'm showing you is truly a quilting inspiration. And for those of you who know Barbara, she is just a master of using her Q20 free arm. She was in a class with me with Nancy Hirschberger, and I'm like, why are you in this free motion class? Because you certainly have mastered the process. So again, this is Barbara's practicing. This is actually for her home. She's got it in the shop right now on the Q20 just to show the options with using the sit-down machine. And there will be no kit, I can guarantee it. Okay. So next up is, again, this is mine from, I was in a couple weeks ago, and then the new cat panels, we've got a cat and a dog panel, was hanging there. We were putting them out on the tables, and I'm like, I gotta have one. I'm a cat lady, and I just got a new cat. And so I took the panel, cut it up, and just made wonky log cabins. I just pulled scraps. You'll see, let's do it here, Kyle. This is a Marcia Durs. It's the cups. It's like a big cups. You would never know. It's just I cut for the color so that it would go with it. This is her to me, they look like knitting balls, snowballs. But again, I'm cutting for the color. Some of this is just strip piecing with scraps. So there is no pattern, there is no kit. We do have, the panels are going fast, I can guarantee that. And we also have some, this is the dog panel, and we have put some curated bundles with fabrics that will go with it. These were from my scrap. I can see every sample I've made for the shop is represented in there in some way. So those are no kits, just inspiration. The next one is one of the most joyful quilts. And Martha made this one at my recommendation because we had these dots to dots fabrics, and it's like, what better way to show these off than, it's the Hope pattern by GE Designs, and it's the scrappy version of it. And notice the quilting is, Kyle gets in there, Martha and Carl are standing in the background, and there are master quilters on the Q24, and they just do a beautiful job. And what better backing than this Tulip Pink backing? It's got the dots, it's got the color. So this isn't a kit, but what we have is, we've got the bundles. So this is the Designer Essentials dot to dot bundles. So you can make your own. Or the pattern calls for 12 fat quarters. So when I'm looking at kind of what am I going to make, I'm walking around the store looking at what bundles do we have. So this is the Sally Callie. Her latest, which is the Twilight collection. This has got 13 fat quarters, so that would make a crib size. And I think this one would make a gorgeous scrappy one. This is a new batik called Beachcombers, but I think that would make it just an absolutely gorgeous scrappy quilt. And this is another one where I enabled the quilt. I didn't make it. Catherine was looking for a project one day, and Julie and I had seen a pattern. When we meet with the fabric reps, they often have pattern suggestions for new collections. And this pattern is the Wharf Street pattern by Meadow Mist Designs. And they had several versions of this pattern done in the August 25 collection. And it's like, well, why wait till August 25? Let's go ahead and use it. So it's using design rolls and a background fabric. And we had just gotten the woven, the Cave wovens in at the time, so we used a cooled jelly roll and some of the wovens. But, oh, and this is another fun. Wouldn't have ever thought that that would go on the back, but it was perfect. And it was a perfect binding. It kind of pulls in the colors. Again, quilting by Martha and Carl, and binding by Martha. What would we do without them? And, I mean, there's so many ideas. You could pick a warm cave. You could do it in a tilde. How about Tula? Neon. Wouldn't this be fun? And last but not least, I think this one would be fun. This is a gradient. This is it's a batik gradient, so it would really show up as you put your strips together. This would just be awesome because the colorways are fun. I might have to do that one myself. One that I showed a couple weeks ago was The one on the wall, Kyle, is the Cafe, using the Cafe times Mars fabrics. And that one we thought about making a kit, but by the time we thought about it, some of the fabrics were sold out. So I would suggest that you buy the book, Quilts in Provence, figure out what you want in making the quilt. But it's just a wonderful way to show off some bold designs. Several of the pieces are cut with length of the fabric, so you can really check the fabric. But the pattern is in this book. It's based on a G's Bin type quilt, but you could do anything you want with that. So it's just a fun way to show off some bold fabric, and we have a YouTube video showing how I did it and my thoughts behind that one. The Winnie quilt. This is the we have I think one kit left of this. Fun pattern, but you could use lots of different, and this kit is on sale. So if you like this one, get it today at $10 off using Flash 10 as your coupon code. But the pattern itself is in the Stripology Quickies book. It's a G design pattern. A lot of these are made for half yards. And so this is the pattern. But I think it would be fun, and we've got some Cafe half-yard bundles that are actually been marked down. So you're going to get these half-yard bundles. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 half yards, and they're at $51.99. And that's Cafe fabric. That's first quality Cafe fabric, so that you can't beat those prices, even if you just want them for your stash. Let's see. All right, the next one. I had made this pattern in something else, but this is the 14 on point, and it uses 14 fat quarters. And the reason this one isn't a kit is because I set a challenge for myself. I saw these two bundles sitting together. One is Moonlit by Jennifer Moore, and the other one is Grounded by Maria Carolucci. But I just thought the colors went well together. And it's like people say, well, that's a really big bundle. I don't want to spend that much money. And it's like, my goal is to see how many projects I can make with these two bundles. So this was one project, and I picked out some of the greens. I have one on my quilting table right now. It's Nikki. It's a GE design pattern, and it's using mostly these. And as it turns out, this Moonlit will be one of our new blenders. So we are getting yardage in this in addition to the bundles. So it will be, you can make what you want or pick the colors that you want. And then, because I still had more fabric left, you know me, I make a rice bag. And so this was some of the grounded fabric. And I have enough left of kind of the purples to probably make another rice bag. So fabric doesn't go to waste. But I will probably have 1, 2, 3, at least 4 projects out of those 2 bundles. So when you do it that way, the cost is not prohibitive, and you make good use of it. That was that. Oh, and the last one I have on this table is Judy made this quilt with Seth, his second line. And what we have to make these are, we have these packs which combines some Seth fabric and some Tim Holtz fabric. And each of them, so they're called Spark Pack. Each of them comes with a Villa Rosa pattern. Every Spark Pack doesn't have the same pattern, but they're all similar in that they're blocks, easy to make. Villa Rosa patterns are really quite easy to make. Really effective quilt. So look for Spark Pack, fat quarter bundles, and it's got all of these colors in it.
We do have a question.
Uh-huh.
Your vest is very beautiful. Is there a pattern for it?
No, it's from India. It was one of Judy's early finds several years ago, but I do know that she has vests coming in a shipment from one of her trips. I don't know whether it was her November trip or her February trip. She had a vest on, was it 2 weeks ago? That was just, I'm like, oh, I want that one. And she said, I don't know what's in it, so stay tuned. Those will be coming. Before we move over to the kit wall, this is another sample that's in the shop. Dudley made this one. It's for a class that is next Saturday. It's the crosswalk quilt, the 12th. So we've got the, it's by Atkinson Designs, the pattern. This is using cave fabric, and some Marcia Durst is the contrast fabric. And then the other one is Magic Squares. And Martha made this one, another one of those, hey, Martha, do you want to make a sample? And she said, yes. So she used, the pattern calls for the 6-inch design rolls. So we've got lots of these. We've got cool and we've got warm, and there's a couple different collections. So it was, let's see, you need 620, so you could make a 57 by 72 cover size with one of the design rolls. Okay, ready? What are we time-wise here? Okay, it might take a few more minutes. So we're walking over to the quilt kit section. So there are kits that we have samples for, and there are kits that we think speak for themselves, and we don't have samples. One of the ones that speaks for itself is the Echinacea quilt kit with Anna Marie's Love Hue. So absolutely beautiful fabric. All the fabrics that you need come in it. And so that one, as all the kits are, $10 off today, but beautiful kit. The other one we don't have a sample for is the Sue Pin Skylight. And I didn't make a sample for this one, but I've made a sample using her patterns before. And the patterns are very simple. It's just putting a border strip in between the fabric. So you cut this into wide strips, and then you put a border strip in between. All right. And let's go to the samples and what else we have over here on our wall. So I'll start with the Tilda quilts. The Tilda quilt kits are actually on sale, so you will get an additional 10% off the sale price. So this one is, all right. Now it's going to make me, I just saw this one this morning, so I know it's on there. I can't find the actual quilt. This one is the quilt bunting. Marta made that one for us. And then we used one of our blenders instead of the chambray as the background. This quilt is the Bricks quilt kit. And this is made with strip piecing of K fabric. And it's a pattern that I should have marked, but it's a pattern that's in this book. So you buy the book, Quilts on the English Farm. But as I found, I have it finding that I'm going back to these cave books and finding other patterns that I like. I don't necessarily have to use cave fabrics or the fabrics that they choose, but it's the book and the kit. But that was an easy quilt to make. This one is that 14 on square. We have a few of these left. This was the same pattern as I used with the grounded fabric. And there's two different colorways of those. I mean, this is the best bargain ever. So this birdie quilt, we have it in several colorways at $29.99, and you take $10 off. Well, you can't beat it. $19.99 for a charity quilt. It's just your time and the quilt. And we've got pinks and magenta. A popular quilt that we actually, this kit sold out. It's the Disappearing Nine Patch. I did a blog post on this. This is using Australian fabrics. So our Aussie Disappearing new version, I actually took 10-inch squares, and or the pattern calls for how you cut up 10-inch squares. We took our 10-inch square packs. I picked some different fabrics, so it's not this quilt. It's a different version. And we've got several of those. This one we've got, I love this one. And I made this. It's a pattern by our friend from Slightly Biased Quilts. The kit has enough to put the white squares in. I didn't, but it's all half square triangles. And this is a complete blank. Sally Kelly, one of her fabric lines. Let's see. Andy made this one, and you can go back. There's a video on this one where he actually made this, the Ariel quilt. He sewed it completely on the serger. And he shows how he also is doing that in the serger. I think that was the first project in the serger club, was sewing a strip quilt on the serger. And I think there are 2 of those left. This one is actually, I believe, the last quilt, the last kit. And you just have to look at the quilting on that. The center was quilted side to side, and then they did custom quilting. And that was an effort by Barbara, Martha, and Carl on that one. It's absolutely stunning. These kits, there's 2 of them with Alice in Glass fabrics. Villa Rosa pattern. Again, with the sale price, these are great. They're $59.99, so they'll be $49. Good charity quilts, but fun colors. And I'll end with I don't see the other. We've got 2 kits from the Garden Palace, quilt kits from Denise Burkett's fabric line. And we didn't make samples of this because we did have a trunk show, and they were so effective in the trunk show that we decided to make kits. Beautiful, beautiful fabrics. And we've got several of those kits still available. And I'll leave it at that. We've got to open the doors. It's 10 o'clock. Don't forget, flash 10 to get your $10 off quilt kits. Oh, and sign up for the summit classes. I was thinking about it on my way here today. I have to sign up for a couple of them because it's just perfect to come in and spend the whole day off social media, creating something and being surrounded by creative people. And we have each day there's 3 or 4 classes going on. You can be inspired by what other people are working on. And I think Julie Booth has a couple spaces left in her storyteller bag. I know Keisha's got spaces in hers. She's got 3 classes, and I'm signing up for the one to make that cat, the totem. I'm going to do a cat totem. Like, she's got a cow, I'm going to do a cat. Oh, I could use a cat face from my quilt panel. And Judy has some space in her roll, her mixed media snippet roll. And Leanna Light has spaces in both her book and her reliefed class, which it's an assemblage class. So a variety of classes, guaranteed to have a creative day. So sign up. It'll be here before we know it. So thanks for watching today.